Today we're talking with Julie Klassen about her latest book, Ivy Hill Christmas. Welcome to the program, Julie.
Thank you, Martin. I'm happy to be here.
This is the brand new book that's just released. And although it's a standalone story, it is a familiar setting. What is special about Ivy Hill to you?
Well, Ivy Hill is kind of the idyllic English village, if you've ever been to England or even your own kind of perfect small town in America. You know, it's got the friends who pull together, the nosy neighbors and quirky characters. But at the end of the day, it's a place you'd want to live because everybody is a close-knit community. And it's just kind of the ideal place to live in England.
So you've got the ideal setting, the ideal little town that everybody wants to be in. What attracts you to the time period?
I have always loved, it's called Regency England. It just basically means the early 19th century, kind of the Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice era. It was a time where ladies wanted to be feminine and modest, and gentlemen were chivalrous, or at least ideally, you know, just like now, humans are humans, but ideally, and it could be a much more romantic time with balls and courtly manners, and it's just a very romantic time to me personally. And thankfully, a lot of readers seem to agree.
Yes, yeah. Well, and it allows, I mean, when you look at the cover of this, it allows them for some beautiful clothing as well.
Right.
I really would like to show up to work like that just once.
I don't know if there's probably no time for this story, you can trim it out, but my husband, we went to a Jane Austen festival in Bath, England, and he was so kind to me. He grew out his sideburns, his side whiskers. And so everyone at work was kind of looking at him like, is this a midlife crisis or something? But that's what you do for love, man.
Absolutely. Very, very good for him. When it comes to building the characters for Ivy Hill or any of your books, how much do you tap into sort of people you know, but obviously reframed for a different time period, or are they just completely made up in your mind and there's no basis on any reality, anybody you sort of know?
Okay. Well, I will say that in general, I do not write about real people. I certainly don't write about myself because that would be a rather boring book. Like any of us, we are always affected and inspired by everything that we take in or read. So certainly I read and watch all sorts of British dramas, read historical dramas and historical letters. So I'm certainly impacted by actors and other novels and other characters, but no, in general, they are figments of my romantic imaginings.
Now tell us a little bit about this particular story without giving away too much of the, you know, the conclusion, but yes.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about this story. It's about Richard Brockwell, and he is the kind of prodigal younger son of Ivy Hill's most prominent family. And he has not been home in years, but this year his mother is putting her foot down. She's going to cut those purse strings unless he comes home for Christmas. So he is a confirmed bachelor. He goes very reluctantly, determined to get back to the big city of London just as soon as he can. But of course, once he gets there, Christmas in the country has some surprises for him, including a young woman he remembers from the past, but she is far more appealing than he recalls. So his plans go completely awry, as you can imagine.
Right. Well, that is an Ivy Hill Christmas.
Yes.
Julie, thank you so much for taking some time to tell us about your latest book, which is now available.
My pleasure. Thanks again, Martin.